Nicole, thank you for joining me today. My name is Angelica Casado. I'll just give you a little rundown of who I am, my background. So like I said, I'm Angelica. I'm a senior dietetics student at Illinois State University, minoring in psychology, so it's perfect that you're here today because I get to practice all that I've learned on you. I'm actually very interested in the field of nutrition counseling, so thank you for volunteering and letting me, record this session with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so I want to learn a little bit more about you regarding where you're at with food and your relationship with food and kind of like your eating patterns. So if you want to go ahead and give me a little rundown of yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I am a full-time student right now. I will be graduating in December, but I am also a full-time worker as well, and I work in the field of physical therapy. I am currently awaiting to hear back from grad school, so I do plan on furthering my education to get a doctorate. I also am in a relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years, and I have a stepdaughter. So I'm kind of a little hectic and a little crazy in there. I don't have a lot of time in my day bouncing, especially from work or from school to work and then home and then having to cook every day. I just can't keep up with it all the time. And then on weekends, we take our stepdaughter out. We do a bunch of things and I live
Sound like
really
you're running around.
Yeah, it's a very hectic life.
So what I'm hearing from that is you kind of just want to, have more time to plan, but you don't have the time. So I'm here to help you kind of figure out what you can do regarding working around the little wiggle room that you do have. So let's start off the session with a dietary recall. So this kind of just helps me identify any eating patterns you have, figure out like what you're eating, when you're eating, if you're getting enough water. So today is Wednesday the 21st, meaning yesterday was Tuesday, November 20th, which started right after midnight that Monday. So what is the first thing you had Tuesday, whatever time you ate?
Okay, so in the morning before class, I usually go and make myself a coffee.
Okay.
So I have I think a 20 ounce mug. And so I fill that maybe about halfway, and then I'll put a little splash of almond milk in it.
Okay.
And after that, I did have oatmeal with like a spoon of peanut butter in it. Oatmeal with milk and then a spoon of peanut butter.
Okay. Was it almond milk or was it
almond milk?
Okay.
Yeah. And then for lunch, I had a tuna salad when I was at work with a banana and yogurt. And then at work, I also had some snacks. So we had some candy at work.
Okay.
So I had some gummy snacks.
Okay.
And then I also had about 2 handfuls of Goldfish pretzels. And then after that, when I got home, I had dinner and I had 2 slices of pizza.
Okay.
With a little side salad. And then for dessert, I had some cheddar popcorn and caramel popcorn. But maybe 2 handfuls of that also.
Okay, so let's see, 2 handfuls. All right, so before class, what time, do you usually have, I'm sure your classes vary each day, so what time do you think you had the coffee before class yesterday?
Probably about, 7:30.
So let's say 7:30 a.m. Did you have anything else with that, some water?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So the oatmeal and the almond milk with the peanut butter, you said about a tablespoon, so.
Yeah, about a tablespoon.
That was after class or?
Yes, after class. So about 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. Perfect. Okay. The tuna salad, was there anything, was it like tuna salad with mayo or was it like a salad with tuna on top?
It was a salad with tuna on top.
Okay, like a packet of tuna.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So was there anything in the salad besides lettuce or was it just a bed of greens?
So I had a bed of mixed greens and then I had I cut up a small yellow pepper in there, and then also a little bit of croutons, maybe about half a handful.
Okay. And the banana and the yogurt. Do you remember what brand of yogurt? What kind it was?
Yeah, it was Activia.
Okay.
It was Activia peach yogurt.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Okay. That's very important when you're choosing your foods.
Oh yeah.
So the candy you had it was gummy snacks. You said correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
and the 2 handfuls of the goldfish pretzels. Were those like at the same time, around the same time, or were those like spaced out?
So the goldfish pretzels, I had probably about 1 handful. I got to work about 11, so I probably had 1 handful around like 1, and then I had another handful around 5.
Okay. Note that really quick. And the gummy snacks, do you remember around what time that was at?
I believe that was like 3.
I also forgot to ask you. I jumped the gun there and forgot to ask you what time lunch was.
3:45.
All right. I'll look at you and the exact timing.
Somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
Okay, so I'm assuming that dinner came after work.
Yes.
Do you remember what time that was at?
Like 7:30, 7:45.
Okay.
Typically around the time I get home.
Okay. Now with the salad, did you have any dressing with that?
Yeah, I had about a tablespoon of, I think it's Chipotle Ranch is what it's called.
Okay. I like a little zing too, so that sounds really good, especially because it's our lunchtime right now.
Of course.
And then for your little pre-bedtime snack, you had the cheddar and caramel popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
What time was that around?
Probably around like 8:30.
Okay.
8:30, 9 o'clock around there.
Okay, I'm just going to note that as 9. Now, this seems like a pretty balanced day of eating from what I can, assume from this little note. Is this like a normal day of eating for you? Like I know you said you're busy a lot, so was that like typical?
Yes and no. It does vary a lot of the time. It also depends on what time of day I'm working, what time of day I'm in class, if I have to pick up my stepdaughter, if I have to take her somewhere to like a lesson or something. That also varies a lot too, and like especially if I'm on the run, I can't always pack food for myself or a snack or something. So like I'll eat out a lot of the time if I'm more on the run and on the move.
Okay.
But that was just yesterday is like just one of the days out of the week that I typically can, pre-pack my meal or make something at home super quick.
Right. Okay. So you're all about like the convenience, on the go sort of thing.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing before we get to this little educational piece. You mentioned the coffee, and then I brought up the water. Did you drink anything throughout the day, like with the meals?
Yeah. So on my way to work, so I was probably around like 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I got myself a venti iced matcha green tea latte.
Okay.
From Starbucks. And after I finished that, I filled up my venti water maybe about 2 more times.
Okay, so that's like 24 ounces, I believe. So times 2 would be 48 ounces, which is okay.
Yeah,
so
and then I had
during
a water
the day.
bottle. Yeah, and then I had a water bottle for dinner. Or with my dinner, I should say.
And then another like 8 ounces at dinner. Okay, that's just good to know because water is super important. Mm-hmm. So I also think you can definitely be getting more of that. Just like bringing a water. You mean you have the venti one with you?
Mm-hmm.
So a nice refillable water bottle like that is good. Just to sip on throughout the day because sometimes your brain's telling you you're hungry and your stomach's growling, but you might just need a little bit of water. You may be dehydrated. Mm-hmm. So a tip that I've used is definitely, especially like as a student, you understand like how busy you are running around. At least on campus for us, we have the refillable water station, so that's really nice. To definitely just carry it around with you. Can't hurt. A little more water. Definitely probably make you feel better too.
Yeah.
So we talked about you being super busy, and I completely get that as a college student. I give you props. I give all the college students props for doing what they do because it's hard. So I have 2 different educational little portions I want to go over with you.
Yeah.
The first one, I actually brought 2 copies, so you can look at this on your own.
Thank you.
It's grocery store staples, like you said. A lot of the times you want like a grab and go sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I put together all the different food options and food groups listed that are above. So we got protein, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and dairy.
Okay.
And this will kind of just be like a shopping list, I would per se for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a highlighter with me right now, but you can even use my pen to tick off things that you think would be good fits for you. So I mean, in the protein category, I listed chicken, tuna, and beef, and ground turkey. Yeah. You don't have to use obviously I don't expect you to get all of those.
Yeah.
Because that would be expensive and then probably lead to a lot of food waste, which is we don't want that. I just listed a bunch of for you for convenience. So what do you think you would be willing to buy, say a few things from this list? And I gave you both animal sources of protein and non-animal sources like peanut butter, Greek yogurt, almonds because I know some people are just different with what they eat.
Yeah.
So.
Of course. So I usually do try to eat chicken a lot of the time. So I have chicken weekly. Tuna I try to eat here and there. I'm not as religious about eating tuna. I don't eat it all the time.
Right.
Ground turkey I probably eat about once a week also. I try to make like a burrito bowl if I can, if I have the time to.
That totally probably saves you money too.
Yes.
Another thing about being in college, you don't have the most money.
I can't go to Chipotle all the time.
Exactly, and it is good, but these options I think you can fit in your budget depending on whatever amount of money you have to spend for the week. So that's definitely a good option too.
Yeah, and then like I said, I do eat peanut butter all the time. Greek yogurt, I'm just not a fan of, like plain Greek yogurt.
But you did have the Activia, so that's listed under dairy.
Yeah.
Greek yogurt does have more protein than a lot of yogurts, but if you're having the Activia and that's one serving of yogurt, we can at least get you to get your dairy in for calcium and vitamin D. I'm not mad about it. So as long as you can incorporate something somewhere, sounds like it's good.
Yeah. Almonds I do eat on a daily also. I have a lot of almonds in my house. Eggs I try to have, if I can, possibly I'll have an egg for breakfast sometimes. And then everything else I do eat, but I mean...
You wouldn't buy it, like, weekly.
Yeah, like salmon I don't buy weekly. I buy that on the occasion. I don't eat beef, really.
Yeah.
Peanuts, I eat more almonds than peanuts. Black beans, not too much.
Okay.
Same
completely
thing.
fine, too. Yeah. Those are just, like, little additives.
Yeah.
So let's go over to fruits. Honestly, there are more fruits than I could probably even name. Yeah. Even being a dietetics major, I could not tell you all the fruits in the world off the top of my head. So those are just kind of quick and easy ones. I did pick the ones that you could, like... apples and bananas and oranges, like you can kind of just like take with you really quick. Yeah. That's what I like doing when I'm on campus is like if I have an apple in my backpack, I know I can at least have something to hold me over between classes. But then like I said, all those are just some of my favorite fruits are like really good options that are really heart healthy, have a lot of antioxidants. So any of those you think you would like to incorporate more into your diet? Or
I know, so like I do eat apples on a weekly basis, bananas also. Blueberries and strawberries, I don't buy frequently. But
they do get really bad really quick, so that's what's really hard too. But a good option that I found was getting frozen ones and not per se to like snack on them. You could do that. I actually really like frozen blueberries or frozen grapes. But incorporating them in your oatmeal or your yogurt or something just to have like some added fiber, some freshness is also a really good tip too. And a lot of times frozen tends to be cheaper than fresh fruit. Yes. So that makes it a lot easier on the budget and the bank account because let me tell you, fresh berries every week would kind of be a little expensive.
That fresh fruit, let me tell you, you got to get it when it's on sale. Yeah. So so that would actually be a really good idea. I'm going to note that down then for frozen.
And those last really long too, so like you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, I used to buy frozen fruit a lot more, but I haven't frequently. So maybe that's something I'll try to get back into. And then I think that's about all I eat out of the fruit, at least, just because those are the easiest to kind of grab and take. Like
and a lot of the times, like I have kiwi on here, melon, but those are like seasonal too. So in the summertime, like I'm a big fruit eater, like pineapple, mango, everything I can get like tropical. But we're in like fall going into winter time, so a lot of like the apples are good too. So just whatever you can incorporate. Also seasonal can be cheaper too, so that's a good thing to look out for at the grocery store. Okay. Good. So vegetables. I am a sucker for a nice green vegetable. Like I've been craving at school. I don't really have the time to get like kale and just like make it, but I do like a nice kale salad. I don't know about you. Okay. But I did list a bunch of different options. I put starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes and then non-starchy ones like lettuce and that sort of thing. So what do you think? I know you said burrito bowls, a lot of these, so you can even incorporate to that just to like bulk up your meal. So what do you think, like what are some of your favorite vegetables?
Spinach is a must for me. I love my spinach. I'm not a fan of kale. Okay. I am not. I'm just going to say that right out.
It's okay. You don't have to be. That's why I literally put like 25 on here just so you can pick and choose from what you like.
Yeah. Potatoes, I try to eat not as much regular potatoes as I do sweet potatoes. I do love sweet potatoes. Yes.
Now, have you roasted them like in the oven?
Yeah. So I put them in the oven. I've actually boiled them too before. And then also there's this one really cool thing that we have, and it's an air fryer.
I've been dying to try one
Yes.
out, and I might put it on my Christmas list just because I love it so much.
Yeah, and so the air fryer that we have, it's pretty much similar to like putting them in the oven, except I feel like when I use the air fryer, I don't use as much oil because I just put like some Pam on it and then season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then that's it, or like cayenne pepper, and that's it.
Which is perfect too.
Yeah.
My favorite way to cook them, just random. You can keep ticking things off with you, so please, I'll just tell this story. But you know, you're busy all the time. It's easier a lot of the time for me to dedicate one day or like an hour on like a Sunday or a Saturday to batch prep a lot of the food. Mm-hmm. So I would get like, I don't know, 5 or 6 sweet potatoes, cut them up into, wash them. I like to keep the skin on for like just the fiber, the way it tastes, and to cut them up, massage a little olive oil on them, sea salt, pepper, and cinnamon, and honey. So it kind of caramelizes them. Honestly, just like a drizzle, it'll go a long way. And put them in the oven on a foil lined sheet at 400 degrees, I believe, for like 30 to 40 minutes. And my favorite is when they get like a little blackened. Like I just think they're so good and sweet.
A little crispy.
And then just put them in like a big container, and you have them for, I like to eat them all the time, so they didn't really last me a week, but at least a few days, and it makes life so much easier. So definitely a tip too. And I like to do that with Brussels sprouts. They're not the cinnamon and honey, but Brussels sprouts I'm a sucker for too. So
yeah, I was just about to say I did check off Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts,
and they're seasonal now too, so they're probably cheaper for the budget, and they're just, I think they're so good. They're very like controversial vegetable, and I just love them. So I'm glad you do too.
Yep, I was gonna say I do have a few different recipes for Brussels sprouts that like when I do have like the time to actually cook and like make food, I try to make my Brussels sprouts. And I love it. But like the same thing, I put it in the oven or I put it in the air fryer before, and I love when they get like that crispiness on them too. Right. And like I said before, just like some salt, pepper, some cayenne pepper, and
a little spice to go along
I'm
the
good.
way.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're done with the vegetables, whole grains. Now I added a bunch of whole grain like wheat options just because they have the added fiber, which is good for lowering your cholesterol. The fiber keeps you fuller longer. They have more protein than the enriched or just the white grain. So any of these options do you think? I know we talked about you like pasta and you like tortillas and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I myself as well love those. I love grains and carbs. Yes. So just like pretty sure everyone else does.
Yeah.
So what do you think you could incorporate, or let's start with this. Do you eat a lot of like white, like the processed sort of like white grains or refined grains as opposed to the whole grain?
More or less I would say yes, just because I do eat more white rice, or I buy more white rice as compared to brown rice, and I don't buy like whole wheat pasta or whole wheat tortillas, or I buy like the traditional tortillas and pasta also. And then same thing with flour. I use like the white flour instead of like almond flour or something.
Which is fine, but would you ever be willing to, or have you tried them? Would you be willing to like try to incorporate one of these
of course.
On there?
I do like brown rice.
Okay.
I just, when I go to Sam's Club, I buy like the really big
white
massive white rice
And it also
box.
makes it easier too, because I know like you live at home, you're probably cooking for your boyfriend and your stepdaughter a lot, and a lot of people just don't like the taste of whole grains, or some people don't really know what they taste like, and they're kind of like, oh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah. I personally think they're really good, so if you can try to incorporate that, or at least like next time you go shopping, maybe, stop by the aisle and be like, oh, maybe, Angelica said maybe try to incorporate some whole grains. Have a lot of health benefits, and they just taste good. So
yeah, exactly. And then quinoa. I do love quinoa.
That's a good one too. That's a
rare one that I do buy.
Yeah. Okay, so then moving on to dairy. I know you said you like the yogurt and the Activia brand. That's really good. Dairy and yogurt, that kind of yogurt too, is really good for digestion, and it's makes a good like breakfast time snack with a little either granola or a piece of fruit. So that's definitely something I see as a staple of yours. And the milk we talked about. Do you drink do you prefer almond milk? Is that like a staple of yours opposed to other milk?
Yeah, I got into the habit of drinking almond milk. I feel like I like the idea of almond milk because it lasts longer than like 2%.
Almond milk, yeah.
Yeah, just because I'll buy it in the fridge, and if I don't drink it within a month, the milk goes bad. Whereas almond milk can last like 3 months.
Right.
So I feel I like that alternative better, and I've been trying to get my family more on that alternative. Although we still do buy 2% in my house.
Right.
But
it's little steps. If you're getting on board with it, and that's what works for you, that's good.
Yeah.
I myself drink it's like, I don't remember the brand, but the unsweetened vanilla, just because I think tastes pretty good, and I use it in cereal or in my smoothies, my oatmeal.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's really good and it tastes good. So
Yeah.
it's not too bad. And I do like, sometimes, when you buy milk, you have to put it in the fridge right away.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I buy, you can kind of just put on the shelf. And you don't have to refrigerate them until you open them, which is great when you live with 3 other roommates who literally just stock the fridge full of whatever they want.
Okay.
So that's also a
I didn't know
definite
that.
plus.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah. And is there like a specific cheese you like, or do you eat cheese often?
I love cheese. Oh, I love cheese.
Cheese is really good.
Cheese is good. I eat. I think I eat cheese on a daily. I love mac and cheese. Yeah, I know this really good mac and cheese place. That's why I love mac and cheese. And then we have like logs of Munster cheese at my house, and we get like provolone and cheddar and Parmesan mozzarella, and like
that sounds so delicious,
I cook,
especially for Thanksgiving. Wow.
Exactly, and I cook with a lot of cheese too, especially like if it comes to like pastas or rices or chicken. Sometimes, sauces. I cook with a lot of cheese, so that's one thing that I definitely do use a lot of is cheese.
Okay, completely fine. If that's your vice and that's what you really enjoy, there's no problem in that.
Exactly.
So now that we got the staples down, and what I was thinking is the things that you checked off, you can take this to the grocery store and use with you. Like you can see this, or you can even make a list on your own and say, hey, like this week I need chicken, check your pantry. Oh, this week I don't have oats, like that sort of thing.
Okay.
Just, it'll make you more conscious of what you need when you go to the grocery store, so you won't be spending as much money kind of like looking around and perusing, because I know when I like go into Target or Jewel or wherever I go, I'll spend a lot of time and a lot of money there because I'm like, I don't know if I need this item, and I don't need it because I didn't take inventory before I left.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it just gets pretty bad for the budget. So,
oh yeah, I know.
Along with that, I figured, because you were talking about how quick you are, and you that's for you to keep.
Thank you.
I made a little quick meal assembly. So the 3 macronutrients, and like I said, you can use this list that you checked off with everything on it. You can use it, like a protein, you checked off chicken. So like if you didn't check off tuna, you can go ahead and scratch it out, or you can keep it on there for whenever you do use tuna or want to buy tuna.
Yeah.
And this will just help you kind of make a well-balanced meal that's got a little bit of everything. So like for me, I would use, like brown rice, some shrimp, probably some grilled shrimp or something like that, and some sliced avocado on top. I think that'd be super delicious. It just sounds good. And then on the bottom, I put quick and easy vegetables to add to literally anything. You can make a stir fry. You can prep them in the oven like we talked about. So like broccoli or cauliflower, kale, spinach, carrots, peppers, all the good stuff. They add fiber and a nice crunch, depending on how you make them.
Yeah.
Nice little flavor. And vegetables are super good for you anyway.
Yeah.
So I also noted that a half cup cooked or 1 cup raw is equal to 1 serving. So just so you're kind of aware, just to eyeball it and see how much. So that's also for you to keep as well.
Okay.
I just think that's super useful.
Yeah.
Now let's see. I want to go over some goals for you.
Okay.
So I know we talked about you being busy, and that's what the whole idea of this was to kind of give you a starting place, a little wiggle room, because I know you told me you want more structure regarding what should I eat. I don't want to tell you when to eat it because I want you to be hungry when you're eating. I want you to feel fulfilled after you eat. You don't want to just be I'm not a mindful snacker. I could be studying and snacking like on nuts or something. So we talked about your typical day. It's kind of hectic, kind of busy. Yeah. So I can't sit here and say, okay, on this day you're going to do this, this, and this. Exactly. That'd be a lot of time for the both of us. And I don't want you to be that structured. You got to enjoy life. You only got one. So if you're going to put all the cheese in your mac and cheese, go ahead and do it and enjoy it because it sounds delicious. So regarding goals, is there a specific topic you want to focus on? Incorporating more water, incorporating more vegetables, swapping something out for another thing.
Yeah.
What do you think? I want this to be all about you, and I want these to be goals that you can stick to and follow through on. So.
Okay. I'm more primarily probably concerned about quick, easy meals that I can make. If it's on a daily, or if it's a day I can meal prep or something along the lines of that, quick easy meals is definitely my go-to because I do have such a busy and crazy schedule.
Right.
Or good eating out alternatives or options instead of stopping at Wendy's or Burger King or something along the lines of that instead of having to do something along the lines of that. And then just kind of like weight management almost when it comes to those meals, at least.
Right.
I want them to be quick and easy, but also like healthy.
Healthy, and they make you feel good too. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say, I don't want to set super long-term goals. I'd say I'd love to meet with you within like 2 or 3 weeks or whenever I see you next.
Mm-hmm.
We can do, why don't we pick like, would you prefer 1 or 2 days to kind of just like batch cook a lot of stuff? Do you have a day that would work for you? Like,
I was gonna say Mondays are usually probably my days where I'm like most free throughout the day, and then sometimes later on in the day on Sundays, like Sunday nights, and then like Monday afternoons /night I'm pretty open. So like kind of like 1-2 day batch cooking ideas.
Let's see. So I have written down batch cook your carb source, whether it be rice, whether it be pasta, bonus points if it's whole wheat or whole grain, but whatever's up to you. We're kind of taking baby steps right now. And then your protein, because I know it's a lot easier to batch cook a bunch of chicken and kind of just put it in the fridge and save it for later for the week. Either on Mondays or Sundays, one time a week, or whenever you see best fit. Okay. So you think that would work for you?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say batch cook it like 3 times a week, because that'll get so tedious and you're going to find yourself so bored in the kitchen cooking chicken 3 times a week. That's just ridiculous. Let's see. So you talked about the fast food. Yeah. Why don't we how often do you eat out, would you say?
Oh, God. Probably almost once a day, if not like once every other day.
Okay. Do you have like any favorites? Like any places that are like your go-to? Like if I'm hungry and I'm in a rush.
I do like Chipotle.
Okay.
I do like Panera. I do like Wendy's and Burger King on occasion also.
Okay.
Along lines of that, probably.
So Wendy's and Burger King more occasional, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because not that they're bad places. Everything in moderation. Like I said, you're only living once. If you want a burger, just eat the burger, please. But Chipotle and Panera, I know that I've looked at their menus before, and they have pretty great options too regarding like Chipotle's got pretty like fresh ingredients, fresh protein. Yeah. As long as you're not piling on like chips and salsa and 3 spoonfuls of sour cream, which, like I said, is fine in moderation, but I don't want you eating that every day. When you, like you said, you could be making a burrito bowl at home instead. Panera, their salads are great, their soups are great. So I would say choose healthier options at fast food restaurants or quick service. Let's say, would you be willing to do that like 4 times a week? If you were to go out to eat, would you be willing to choose like Chipotle or Panera, or even like prep something at home?
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Just 4 times a week, which is good. You can honestly say 3 to 4 times a week. I want these goals to be something that you can stick to. I don't want to shoot for a goal of 7 days a week, because that's unrealistic, and I don't want you to sit here thinking that you're a failure if you don't accomplish these goals, because you're honestly super awesome for even coming in today. So, and I personally I think I want to make a goal of giving yourself credit for more than you do, because I know you're busy, you're in a relationship, you're a full-time student, you work full-time, you're also a daughter, so you're always at home doing things for your parents too. Yeah. And you have a stepdaughter that you take care of a lot. So I just think you should, take time, like at least 5 minutes out of your day, every day, if not every other day. Like, I know you're busy, but just take time to be like, you know what? I can do it today. Like, I'm going to kick butt. I'm going to make the best choices I can, because you don't want to get caught up on one day. Like, say you do eat Burger King, I don't want you to go sit there and think like it's the end of the world, I ate Burger King, which is great too, because I know you're not like that. So yeah, I just think that these goals will definitely help you. The batch cooking especially, that'll save you a lot of time, a lot of money. And if you use these tools too, I think they'll definitely be like a good guidance point.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I said, keep those. You can honestly put them on your fridge, because they're colorful to make you stop and be like, oh, you know what? Like, if I go to grocery store, like, I'm not going to forget this. Yeah. Which is great. So let's see. Overall, today we accomplished going over your dietary recall, which is great. We figured out that we knew you were busy, but now we see just how busy you are. Yeah. So hopefully you get some downtime during the holidays.
Thanks.
That your meals aren't always the same each day, but with the tips I provided you, hopefully you get some sort of structure. So those you can add whatever you want to. Like, say you love sweet potatoes, add them to the carb source, because I know it. Like we talked about, I love sweet potatoes, and those are super easy to batch cook. So just time-saving tips that'll save you time, money, and stress, because I'm sure you're as
Yeah.
stressed as anyone else with your schedule. So I think that we did pretty good today. We got a decent amount accomplished. I feel accomplished, at least, knowing that you can walk away with those pieces to help you, and that the goal of batch cooking 1 time a week, just to kind of get you through a few days or the week, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then choosing healthier options at fast food restaurants 3 to 4 times a week. Or the best thing to do would be to use the food that you batch cooked and make it for lunch. So hopefully that's the goal, is that you start incorporating more of the food that you were able to prepare.
Yeah.
Because, like, that'll be saving you the most money and the most time, and you'll probably feel better.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked about weight management, but that's something I would love to cover in the next session.
Of course.
Now, I feel like I've done a lot of talking, but do you have any questions for me? Anything? Clarification?
No, I really like these papers.
Good, I'm
Just
glad.
because I was gonna say they do catch my eye, so I'm sure.
That was the whole goal, is I want them hanging on your fridge, and I want you
Yeah.
to think of me every time you see them.
I
because
probably, they definitely will, because, and I think that, and the quick meal assembly too, I really like that, just because it's so much easier than I can like take it to the store with me and be like, oh, okay, I did run out of this.
And that's why I thought those two went hand in hand, just because I gave you the list of what you need, and honestly, that's something we can revise that. We can put little check boxes next to it, so each week you can check off what you need or not. I think that'd be super cool. And then the quick meal assembly, you can use what you have on your staples for your grocery items. You can use that in a quick meal assembly. So it's like, you can't do one without the other, which kills 2 birds with 1 stone. And I think that'll get you pretty far into our goals of kind of just, feeling better going into the new year.
Yeah.
If some weight loss comes with that, that's great. But I think you're doing great. And
Thank
like
you.
I said, I just want to thank you for, seeking change, seeking help to get some feedback on what you can do to better your life. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this session.
And
so
I will see you the next time we meet.
yeah, thank you so much.